I have to say that I'm blessed. When I graduated from college, my father was an attorney. It cost $6,000. It was very easy for them to pay for it. I have 3 sons in 4 years, which was a huge expense for college. But again, because of the family I come from, when my mother passed away, there was a lot of money, and I thought, you know, this would make Grandma happy if I paid down most of the student loans. And I did it over time. I refinanced, you know, I got rid of all that debt. And I was able to do that. Now, I work at a university, and not only do I work at a university, but I work as the person who sees the money coming in. And what I want to know is, it's disgusting, okay? I have trouble looking at this every day. We have become so corporate in a private university. When I started working there, like 35 years ago, I've been there for 40 years, but like 35 years ago, we'd come to the end of the semester, we barely have money to operate. Now we're sending funds to endowment and doing, and I feel like we really need to hold universities accountable for the money they're spending so that people don't need to go into that kind of debt. And I'm on that end and I see it. That's why I know it's happening and I'm disgusted with it. And I know people hate government regulation and all that stuff, but I just feel like it's way out of control. So I just wondered what you thought about that.
Yeah. I like the idea of supporting every American who wants to go to college or get some kind of higher education, but in part making it conditional on states and private universities ensuring that the cost of inflation is controlled and that they're kicking in their fair share as well. And then also ensuring that we're not just looking at those who choose to go to college and pursue higher education, but those who want to join a union, enter into an apprenticeship, learn a trade or a skill that will allow them to work with dignity for the rest of their lives and command a living wage for the rest of their lives. We're making investments and prioritizing that as well. So yes, let's make an additional investment because it's going to produce a very handsome return. But let's also bring in all the other stakeholders from the states to the universities themselves. And then let's also make sure that we use this as an opportunity to drive more Americans to public service. And I want to just give you one brief example. We were holding a town hall during the Senate race in Texas in a small town in Pecos County called Fort Stockton. It was at a Dickey's barbecue, and Cynthia, 8 or 9 people showed up to that town hall. There was a birthday party going on at the next table that was larger than my town hall. And I remember this woman stood up, and she was very angry with me as a Democrat because of Obamacare. Our state had not expanded Medicaid, and she described a situation where she's working her tail off and earns too much to enroll in Medicaid, does not earn enough to afford private insurance, and is mad at Democrats for messing it up. And I started to talk to her about, well, we could have expanded Medicaid, and that would have taken care of this issue. And she cuts me short before I can finish, and she said, you know, Beto, even if we did that, there's no one in this town that takes Medicaid or Medicare, so I'd be out of luck. And as she says that, this young man stands up. And he says, ma'am, I'm a doctor, and I live in Fort Stockton as well. In fact, I moved back here 8 years ago, and I take Medicare and Medicaid. And even if you don't have insurance, I'd love to take you. And so I pulled him aside afterwards, and I said, you've got to tell me your story. Graduated from high school in Fort Stockton, went to college, could not afford medical school, but Pecos County and the state of Texas, believe it or not, kicked in 50-50 on his medical school education on condition that he moved back to Fort Stockton and practice medicine there for 6 years, take care of those who had ensured his success in the first place. And the kicker is, he was in his 8th year. He satisfied his requirements, but he put down his roots, and that's where he was going to thrive and ensure that that community could thrive. What a great return on the investment that that community made. Let's make that in every American, right? So thanks.